Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to our second class on web development. Today we'll be dealing on the topic technology and tools in web development. In this chapter, or rather in this part 2, we'll focus on the specific technologies and tools that are essential for web development. More like we are going to learn the tools used for web development, which is like learning all the cool gadgets builders use when they want to build something. Remember our key three technologies? Yes, the one I said in our last video, which are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Good. We are going to explore them more. Come along. The first on the list is HTML. HTML is an acronym which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Like I said earlier on, it is the skeleton of a web page which provides the basic structure by using elements called tags. For example, as you can see, this is a code which in which this is the H1, this is the H1 tag, this is the P tag, and this is the A tag. This H1 tag is used for displaying the P tag is used for displaying what you want to write, like your write up, and the A tag is used for displaying your link. Now, when you put this code into your web browser, it displays the heading, my first web page, and this is a paragraph. That is what it is. Now, basic HTML structure. This is the structure of a basic HTML, whereby we have the doc type, which is the first thing a web page must always have, which shows, or rather, which tells the VSE, which is the editor, that this is an HTML file. We have the head, the HTML. We have the HTML, which then has the head and the body. Then, from this structure, you can see that the HTML includes the head and the body, and the head includes the title, and the body includes H1, H2, H3, H4 down to H6, and the P tag as well. Now going to CSS. CSS is also an acronym which stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It is what makes our website look pretty, or rather what makes it look beautiful, and it is like the skin to our website. And for instance, as you can see from this code here, we use to style the body. This is how we style the body. This is how we style the H1 tag, and this is how we style P. Now, media queries in CSS allow your website to adapt its layout depending on the device being used. That means with CSS, with media queries in CSS, you can build your code in a way that even if you display it both on a desktop mode or on an Android mode or like your phone mode, you will see same thing. Like it should not be looking beautiful on the desktop and be looking ugly and scattered on your iPhone or your phone. Now, the last one is JavaScript. JavaScript is what brings your website to life. Like I said in the last video, it is like the brain to your website. It adds magic to your site. It is what allows you to interact on a web page, which is, for example, you going to a website and then clicking subscribe button. It is what actually makes you really subscribe after clicking subscribe button. It is what makes the website function properly. Now, this is an example of a JavaScript file of a form, and it is a code that this is a code that makes an alert pop up when a button is clicked, which it is. It manipulates HTML elements on the page and communicates with servers using Ajax to fetch data without pressure. In simple terms, this means that this code you are seeing here is what makes when you click a button. In a layman's term, this code you are seeing here is what makes something happen when you click a button. Now, we have different development tools. So now we'll be covering the basic ones. Like just like builders need hammers and saws, developers also need special tools to help them code better. Like I said in my last class, a tailor needs a sewing machine So, right? A farmer needs cutlass and whatsoever to go to the farm. So also a developer needs some tools to help them code better. Now the first on our list is text. There are two popular text editors. The first one on the list is VSC, which is Visual Studio Code. Now this VSC is a powerful tool that has lots of features. It has features like code suggestions, that is it has AI, debugging, which is to help you debug your code, and a wide range of extensions that can help you code faster and better. Then number two is Sublime Text. It's also a fast tool that is easy to use. It is known for its speed and simplicity because it's very simple to use. It has a clean interface with different features and editing options. Now, from this picture, you can see this on your left is the VSC, which provides a feature-rich interface, has a built-in terminal, provides live collaboration, a large library of plugins, and has a built-in task runner. And on the right is Sublime Text, which is also another text editor, which offers a minimalist and lightweight interface, requires external terminal, lacks native support for collaborations, and a lot more. Now, understanding website structure. In order to do this, we need to take a closer look at very how everything fits together. First of all, HTML gives us structure. It provides the layout and the content. Thereafter, we have CSS, which adds style to your web page and makes it visually appealing. And the last on the list is JavaScript, which brings interactivity so that users can engage when they are on the site. Now, when you combine all these things together, they create a fantastic user experience, which is this. Now we have the home page, we have the category of which each category has a subcategory. This is a basic website structure. Now going on, the first structure we also have is client server architecture. Now websites work using something called the client side server architecture. Now imagine your browser as a customer asking for information from a server, like a waiter. The server finds what you need and brings it back, just like a waiter. Do you understand? Now this is an example of client server architecture. Now this thing you are seeing here, this script or rather this code allows you to browse different sites on the this code asks for data from another place on the internet. Is also this is the internet, this is the server, and this is the client. Now you come into a website, you go to your internet, you ask a question, and then the internet now goes to a server to bring back information to you and display it on your web page. Now finally, let's wrap up on how data travels across the web. When you enter a URL, number one, the first thing your browser does is send out an HTTP request, which is like sending a letter asking for information. Then the server gets your letter and sends back an HTTP response with all the goodies, right? And then your browser then shows everything nicely on your screen. This happens super fast, so you can this happens super fast, so you can find what you need right away. That's why you cannot really see the process. Once you do it instantly, it brings back information to you. And finally, we will be looking at how the web works, like how the web or whether your website works. Now, when you enter a URL in your browser, the first thing your browser does is to send an HTTP request, which is like sending a letter asking for information. The server then gets your letter and sends back an HTTP response with all the goodies. Then the browser shows everything nicely on your screen. Now note, this happens super fast, so you can find what you need right away. Now at this point, we are done with part 2 of our class. We've explored the key technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and we've discussed